Hello, welcome to my channel. This is just Nash, and today I'm excited for two reasons. Number one, this is my first video face to face, and two, I'm going to be sharing with you a story about my trip to New Orleans. Beautiful, beautiful place. But first, there we go. Much better. For those who don't know, New Orleans is on the Louisiana City on the Mississippi River near the Gulf of Mexico. So you might be thinking, oh, I'm just gonna catch a flight and go to New Orleans. Well, me and my crazy head decided to drive there. That's 9 hours and 3 minutes from where I am right now in Orlando. Kill me now. Well, this is what the drive kind of looked like. Do you know what kind of shoes I wear when I'm driving for 9 hours? I don't know if many of you have noticed, but you know that moment when you're driving and it's like sunrise and you see that nice ray of sunshine coming in from the back and you just want to stop, take a few pictures. I had stopped by the way, and this is what it looked like. It was magical. The lights, the rays, the morning sunshine was just beautiful. Nine hours later, got to New Orleans and went straight to the Airbnb. Just wanted to take a nap and sleep. Place is called Nanny's Holistic House. It's supposed to give like the theme of New Orleans and all the vibe of the place and the voodoos and everything that goes on over there. Let me show you what that looks like.
Somebody's getting it, somebody's getting my love. Somebody's getting it,
And the best part is, they had a jacuzzi in the room. And this is the part I just blacked out. There's so much to see in New Orleans. The people, the food, the culture, the live music playing everywhere. Cafe du Monde is there for those who know it. It's an amazing place. So soon after, got up and got out of the house and decided to explore the city. So got the city and started strolling around the French market, and luckily enough, the first place I saw was a place called House of Pepper. And I was interested because there's quite a few people who were right there, and I was like, what's going on? I don't think it's a good idea to do this, but why not? So got in the shop and asked this lady what kind of things they do there. And
it's a lot of different kind of hot sauces, barbecue sauces, jellies, pickles, like mostly spicy.
Yeah.
If you like spicy stuff, everybody come to try it. You see a lot of people cry every day.
oh yeah?
Yes.
And when she said that they've seen a lot of people cry, that's a moment I should have just walked out and said goodbye and thank you. But
I hope you want to try.
love to try.
You sure?
Of course.
All right. Give me one.
I'm not, guys. Hot sauces, taste at your own risk. What further warnings do you need? I need to know. What further warnings do you need? Look at that. It's called Death Nectar. Death Nectar. Why would you eat something called Death Nectar? 2 seconds later, I'm done. That's hot. I was dying.
Not this one?
No,
Let's just pretend like there's no camera in front of you.
it's this one.
Why am I doing this again? It was hot. Second one was called Murdoch 357. Now, this one, Murdoch 357 is made out of 9 million Scoville peppers. Is Murdoch 357. Guys, even the name. Oh, alright. It was too hot. I had to like break it into like 3 parts, and it was like this small of a chip. I feel when you have something and you're suffering, but you don't want to suffer alone, then you start offering it to someone, so you suffer together, and you have kind of like, you know, a suffering spree. Well, that's too much. I'm just gonna bring her. It's too much, man. You have to try. That's hot. That is hot. And of course, you even have to sign a waiver before having any of those sauces. Now, beignets were originally fried fritters brought by the Acadians, but with time it changed to just fried dough with powdered sugar on top. There's nothing like it. More or less like mandazi, where I come from in Kenya. All it is fried dough served with powdered sugar on top, but they're really, really good. So anyways, just had to stop by there. To give you a small history of the place, beignets was open in 1862. Open 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's crazy, and it's a very beautiful place. To get a bit more insight of, you know, Cafe du Monde and what kind of goes on around, I met with Rashad, if I'm saying the name right, from he works at Cafe du Monde, and I asked him, you know, to elaborate what kind of goes on in the scene. Hi guys, I'm here with Rashad. Rashad works at the famous Cafe du Monde. That's how you say it?
Cafe du Monde.
Cafe du Monde. And he's gonna just tell us a bit of the place, history of the place, and what kind of goes on in there.
Alright, so Cafe du Monde, we are always busy. We sell beignets, we do coffee. The most famous thing here would be the beignets. People come from all over the place for beignets. And as well as our French style coffee, we offer it hot, iced, frozen. I don't know. Just people love coming here. people love the beignets, and I don't know what it is about them. It's just a little pastry with some powdered sugar.
That's it.
They go crazy for it.
Yeah.
They really do. We are like, I come here at maybe 4 o'clock, and I don't get off until 12, and I'm on my feet pretty much the entire time. Like my section is always packed. We're always running. And when festivals come around, like let's say Mardi Gras, Essence, like music festivals, other things like that, where people gather to the city, they gather here.
It's worse.
Yeah, it's 1,000 times worse.
Cafe du Monde, original French. Look like I work here. It's really good. Just as I finished eating my beignets, I heard something start playing. I went there straight away because that was my first live scene music just in the streets. That's one thing you'll discover about New Orleans. There's live music everywhere. Right on the next block, play music. Whether it's drums with recycled bucket or painting an artwork or just something. There's always an artist right across the next block, and that's something that fascinates me. Talking about art, I don't know if you guys know by now, but I love photography. I'm just in love with it, and I was walking across one of the streets and I saw a shop written Frank Fell. I saw one picture, just one picture, and I dived into the shop just to see what was going on in here, and I was amazed.
Well, welcome to Frank Relly's gallery. We're here in the French Quarter in New Orleans. On Royal Street, which is historically the shopping and art and antique stretch within the French Quarter. Frank is a local and a native son. He's from Gretna, Louisiana, which is just across the Mississippi River. He does long exposure painting with light photography. So he is either using a large format or medium format camera. More recently, in his explorations of Louisiana swamps, lakes, bayous, he's using a DSLR, much like the one you're filming me on. I think it's a DSLR. He's shooting on a Canon 5D Mark IV, and he's doing long exposure painting with light photography. So he's leaving the aperture open for 2 or 4, up to 8 minutes, and he is then usually a 2-man, 2-boat operation. He has an assistant encircling the image or moving around behind the camera and casting light from multiple angles and building up the image through his creative playing around with light and shadow. And that's basically what he does.
Awesome. Strolling through the streets, I met one of my friends from university, Ines, and she is something.
This is Ness.
Hi y'all! And I'm just sitting down there having nothing to do. I fall asleep. I wake up and I'm like,
Nightlife in New Orleans is something else, and that's where everything just changes and so many things come to life. Like this gift shop which passed by, and
I'll try the real Mardi Gras. They'll just throw them at you.
Yeah.
And also like the big one.
Walking by yourself.
Oh!
Here we go. Hey.
Welcome to New Orleans. What's up? What's up? Big Easy, baby. Easy, yo.
New Orleans and seafood are like this. Fresh food straight to your table. One of the most delicious things to have there were oysters. Oh, I am still thinking about that garlic and parmesan crusted oyster. It was delicious. Went into the restaurant and the first thing you see is waitress available sometimes. Wow. That was first day of New Orleans, which concludes part 1 of this episode. Catch on part 2 later this week to find out what happened on the next day in New Orleans. See you then. Please like, share and subscribe this video if you liked it. It really means a lot. And stay tuned for the next video on part 2 of this episode.